Hey guys, it's Luke here and welcome back to another video. You join me once again today in my office. It's another very sunny day outside and I'm very sad to be sat inside here. But regardless, that's just what it is at the moment. That is life. But anyway, today I'm going to be running through and talking about some of my favorite memories of being a YouTuber. Now, I started this channel, I believe, on the 1st of August 2013, so almost 7 years? Yeah, 7 years. Of course, I didn't properly get into YouTube for the first few years, so I'd say I've been a proper YouTuber. Proper? I don't know. Uploading proper videos for like the last, I don't know, 3 or 4 years now. And I have done some incredible things. Creating videos, some incredible opportunities, been to some incredible places, filmed some incredible cars. And so I thought it would be a cool idea to kind of sit down and relive those moments and share them with you guys, seeing as there's really not much else I can do at the moment. So, not gonna lie, it is gonna be quite difficult for me to kind of really cut things down because there's been so many different adventures and videos which I'm proud of and look back and think, how the hell did that happen? But I've thought of a few which I think, without further ado, we'll crack on and get into now. So the first one is one which happened last summer at the Goodwood Festival of Speed. Now, the Goodwood Festival of Speed is an event which I've been going to since I was very young. I used to go every year with my dad, and it was just kind of, well, it was the first proper car show that I ever went to. I don't know what year it was when I first went, maybe 2006 or something like that. And obviously, in the content game, it's one of the events in the UK which you've got to go to every year because it just gets bigger and better every single year. And last year it did for me because I ended up driving the hill climb twice. One of them was planned, okay, so one of them was the one which I did after the other one, which I'll get into, which was in a Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifoglio. That was really awesome to drive that. But the first one, which happened, I'd say 2 hours beforehand, was completely unexpected. So what I did on, I'd say like 2 months before the meet, or the event, the show, I was emailing some press teams, such as the likes of Ferrari, which I had done a previous hill climb with, Lamborghini, Porsche, you know, the usual big guns really. Not really expecting anything to come of it. But Lamborghini replied saying, yeah, we've got a space available in the Urus, which at the time was quite new. And I was like, yeah, that'd be awesome. It'd be cool to do some more like SUV content on the channel because it wasn't really too focused on those at the time. Not that it really is now, at least. But yeah, no, so I signed up for that. It was on the Thursday, so the first public day of the event. And it was, I think, about 9 o'clock in the morning. So I turned up, I believe, at about 8:30 to sign some documents for insurance, to sign myself up, make sure I was all ready. And they came up to me and were like, great to meet you and everything like that. And they were like, I'm in a good mood today. Here's the key, drive it. And there was all these like professional racing drivers who were there as part of Lamborghini driving. And they were like, you're gonna let this kid drive the Urus up the hill climb? And I was like, yep, I'll do that. Before you change your mind, I will definitely drive it up the hill climb. So it was Chloe and I kind of there. Chloe was just with me anyway. And it just happened quickly. I just kind of glanced over to her and we were just like, what has happened? It's gone from me being in the passenger seat, just signing myself up and registering that I was there on the day, to then being allowed to drive it. So it was completely last minute and really surprising moment. And then half an hour later, I was in the car up the hill climb, which was, one, a dream come true, two, a moment which I'll never forget. It was just unbelievable. I could not believe it. And annoyingly, the video didn't really get out to very many people. But still, it was one of those videos and one of those experiences you think, you could not imagine yourself doing that or being allowed to do that. At the time, I was, I think, still 20. And normally with brands, you have to be at least 25 to drive or even be accepted into like their press group. So I was completely blown away. And of course, I then, what did I do? I think I put something on Instagram, and then when you come down to the main start line, there were some friends of mine there, not knowing, because it literally just happened. They were like, hang on, is that Luke?
Wait, what? Pap was driving it?
And I also told my dad, and it was weird. And then because my mum wasn't there on the day, I kind of called her up and said, yeah, I just went up in the Urus, because she knew that I was going to do it. And I was like, yeah, they let me drive it. And she was like, what? Like, it was completely unexpected. So that definitely is one of the main highlights for me. Another highlight, which is something which is completely different, completely on the other end of the spectrum, was just a general experience for me. And that was driving my Golf R around the Monaco F1 circuit. Now, Monaco is one of my, if not my absolute favourite place in the world. It's a tiny little place, but one which is just, it's dreamland for me. I've been visiting for a few years on foot, so flying down and spending kind of like top marks Monaco there. Maybe just a general summer holiday there, just kind of car spotting. Because the amount of cars there are just unbelievable. It's a tiny place, I think it's like 2.5 kilometres squared, and it's just jam-packed with underground car parks. I'm talking like car parks which go like 18 floors down, and just showrooms, everything. Yeah, unbelievable place for everyone who hasn't been. And it was always a dream of mine to take my own car down there and drive around the Monaco F1 circuit, because even when it's not being used as a circuit, you can still see like the start line and all the grid positions, and even the grandstands. If you're kind of going down there a couple of months before the main F1 race, then you will see a load of people building the stands and the barriers going up and everything like that. You can kind of see the track taking shape, still with like scooters and everything driving around it. It's really bizarre. So it'd always been a dream of mine to go down there in my own car with some friends and drive it myself, and that is exactly what I did last year. I organised my very first road trip. I took my Golf R down. There was 5 cars, 10 people in total, so it was me and the Golf R. There was an Abarth 595, there was a 3 Series, there was an M2, and also a Z4. So it was so much fun. A group of friends was going down. I think we were on the road for about 10 or 12 days. But we all got into Monaco. We hired a villa, which was, again, unbelievable. Of course, I did document all of this on the channel. But just to have my own car in Monaco, to just drive around, was just, it was unreal. And this is how I'm going to describe all of these highlights. I know it's just unreal, because it was really cool. It was a pinch yourself moment. And it was funny because we booked this really nice villa. And we hardly spent any time in it, because the minute we get back, we think, I want to go back and drive around, you know. One, to see what cars are around, because it was kind of the height. Well, it wasn't quite the height of summer, but it was mid-April, so temperature was getting hotter, and cars were coming out. But we hardly spent any time in the villa because we just wanted to drive around the circuit. And it was funny because there's all 5 cars that would go down in the convoy, and naturally, when you're in a convoy, you always get lost. And because we all at that point kind of knew the different ways around Monaco. If you're driving around there, you see a supercar every now and again, but most of the time we'd be seeing each other, like, oh, hello. So seeing one of the other guys driving around, yeah, it was unreal. I'd love to go back there again this year. In fact, I do have a trip booked to take the 140 down there with some more friends, but with everything that's going on at the moment, I'm really not sure if that's going to go ahead. Still, I did take the 140 down to Geneva. Again, more issues with that, with the motor show being cancelled, but yeah, it'd be great to take the 140 down there at least sometime, hopefully this year. Now, the third and final highlight, which I'm going to talk about today, at least that I can make this a decently length video, because otherwise it would be like 3 hours long with the amount of highlights which I can speak about, is one actually featuring another YouTuber, one which everyone will know, and that is of course Shmee150. So kind of I suppose you could say friendship with Tim kind of started when I was at Goodwood Festival Speed back in like 2013. I'd first started my channel, and I was kind of filming and uploading really basic videos just of cars moving, no talking, no pointing cameras at yourself or anything. And I'd met Tim. I was with my dad, and I was like, can I take a photo with you? It's a really bad photo of me because I look like a complete tool. Tim is obviously extremely busy during Festival Speed, as he is all the time. So he was like, yeah, sure, take a quick photo, and whilst he was off. But that's when I first met Tim, and then kind of after that is when I got into YouTube properly. So kind of traveling down to places like Monaco, where I saw him, Geneva as well. And then we both well, I think mainly him, started doing videos of people's car collections. And I'd always had this idea of doing a series called something like Garage Goals, where I basically visit people's collections and kind of share that online. And so we were both kind of uploading these videos on our own channels. And I visited the Automotive collection a couple of years ago now. And it was kind of a place where not many people know about. Some incredible cars in there. I'm talking like LaFerrari, TDF, F40, 330 GTO, and like a load of F1 and racing inspired cars. Incredible place, all privately owned by a guy, but it's open to the public. It's a museum. And I went there and made a video on it, and Tim kind of watched the video and sent me a message like, I need to go there. What's it called? Like Automotive. And I was like, yeah. And then we kind of got talking on WhatsApp about it, and then he was like, yeah, do you want to do a video of my collection? So this was at the time when I believe he had his standard AMG GTR, the Senna and Ford GT had just been delivered. The Senna of which we then, after taking a tour of the garage, went out for a little drive around London as well, which was pretty cool. What else do they have in the collection? Obviously the GT8, the 675 LT, along with some other cars. He has too many, and Tim, if you're watching, you've still got too many cars. But it was just unbelievable to then film a video with the automotive YouTuber, the person which I looked up to when starting my channel, and still do to this day, because he's just surpassed 2 million subscribers, which is crazy. And it's really inspiring for me, along with a lot of other creators. But to be able to film a video with him and to see all the cars live, kind of where you see them, like without watching them on a screen, you're seeing them all live, like how they are in his videos. It was really bizarre, and we just find ourselves kind of speaking about how crazy it all is. And we spent, I think it was about half an hour video in total. So a really long video for me, but just to hear all the stories and to see all the cars together and everything, and then go out in one of them as well, the Senna, which I believe only had about 200 miles on it at the time, was unreal to see all the looks it had. And yeah, just to be in a Senna, it was the first Senna I'd been in at the time. But yeah, that was definitely another highlight which I can think of. But yeah, 3 different highlights, but 3 highlights which definitely have fond memories, which I can say that I've experienced as my time being a YouTuber, I suppose you could say. But yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed this little video. It's one which I actually really like doing, so maybe I'll do it again in the future, maybe like an episode 2. So if you want to see that, some more memories and stories which I can tell you guys, and let me know down in the comments. And yeah, that's going to be it for this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed nonetheless. If you have, please make sure you leave a like and make sure you subscribe for all the adventures still to come.